we just take the throat open. That's the only big difference between an opera singer, a classical singer, and a popular singer. The popular singer will go to the top, as we say, with an open sound. Strange word to say that your throat is closed. So remember always this. When your throat is closed, the sound will be open. And when your throat is open, your sound will be passed or covered. Okay? That's just a little problem on the way we name it. Okay. So 3 very specific and important things that we have to know about singing. The first strange thing is that all the muscles we use to sing are not muscles we can directly accede to. You can move an arm, I can move my fingers, and the connection between the muscles of see that, and my brain are direct. I can directly think on the movement of my arm, and then I will move my arm and my fingers. The problem is with the muscles we use to sing. The muscles we use to sing, that is the diaphragm, the vocal cords, and the muscles in the larynx and in the pharynx. They move without you knowing that you are moving them. Why? Mostly, just imagine your vocal cords. How many times per second do they have to vibrate to do an A or a C or a D? Nobody knows that. How much pressure of air you have to put to reach that sound? You don't know it. It's a very difficult calculum to do. So all these muscles are automatic. It's the way you think the sound that will put that muscles in motion and in the different positions. That's a very important first thing to know. Second one, when we speak about positions of the letters, as you know, pronunciating well is very important because it's going to give you the opportunity to let know to the people who is hearing you, what are you saying? The problem in opera singing is that if you don't pronunciate in the extreme way, the text is not going to be clear. So you have to pronunciate in the best way you can, even if you think that is too much. So if I am, for example, speaking with you now, if I was singing, I will be pronunciating very well every single letter. It's very important because the form that your pharynx and larynx will have depends on how you are thinking these letters. So if you are singing, I don't know, tenors. Joe, you're a tenor. Una furtiva lagrima. Una furtiva lagrima. Most of the teachers will say you, yes, but you have to do an A with the form of an O and then put the U inside the I and things like that. And so the text is not going to be clear. If you have to sing una furtiva lagrima, you have to pronunciate well. in the extreme way. Una furtiva lagrima. And give all the letters the correct form to allow the larynx to be flexible and to move. That is very important in every single language you are singing. That's number 2. Number 3, mostly for big voices, it's very important not to approach very much your chords. And you say, well, I don't know what I'm doing with my chords. You just said that I'm not going to feel them. Yes, that's true. But the way in which you think the sound will give you an idea of what are you doing with your vocal cords. I always try to think that I am speaking with a little bit of air in my voice. I'm not speaking like this, but I am speaking like this. So when I sing, I don't risk my chords to be too much close, because that's the main reason why they're going to be I'm going to have an inflammation of my chords, and I will be tired of singing. So that's another very, very important thing for all the singers. About the air, don't push too much on your air. Don't start your phrases giving a push of air. That's not going to help you, because that is going to close your larynx. And that's an awful way, mostly for the, we tend always to give a lot of air at the start of the phrase who's going to the acute note. So you say, oh, this is a difficult one, I'm going to push it. Worst thing you can do, because you are not going to reach the acute. You are going to reach the acute if the voice is free. And as the voice is not going to be free if you're doing a lot of force. It's quite normal. It's obvious, but we don't do it like this. So our intuition many, many times is giving us hard times on these things. And the last and most important thing to say, I personally think that there is not such a thing as a vocal technique. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. It's a too much big idea for just a method of pronunciating. You have to sing thinking that you are just speaking in different notes. That's all. And if you hear well, you can realize that when we speak, we are doing notes. When we speak, we are doing notes. Ta 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 ta. We are already singing when we are speaking. But the problem is when we try to do a different thing when we sing than when we speak. And that's the main problem. The main problem is when someone says us that singing is very difficult. That's the big issue. It's not so difficult. It's quite easy. But
answer all the questions, even from what he just said now, and what you also have planned to ask. Please feel free, write down your question on the chat. Oh, Sebastian, do you prefer them to ask the question audio or they should type it? Which one?
Of course, yes, because I am hoping that the questions are very concrete. I would like to help you on one problem. Maybe we do with some little exercise also, and we try to reach a better way to sing that note or that phrase.
Okay. Do you want to do it now? Do you want to do the exercise now or the ask question first?
No. I would like to try to do exercises with the people who is asking things. So to help them.
Okay, great. I understand. Okay, we have a question already on ground. Let me read it out. How does one sing a high note, but the markings say soft? How do you sing a high note when you have to sing soft? He is a baritone. His name is Gift. He's a baritone. How do you manage singing high notes when you still have to
open his video soft? And 10 minutes, this little thing.
Okay, Gift. You can put your video on. If you are in a place that is clear, you can put your video on. Back. His name is Gift Anyagwachu.
Gift.
Yes, Gift.
Okay. And he's a big baritone or like?
He's a baritone, a young baritone.
Very young. He's singing like
he sings Rossini. He sings. I know him. We have Rossini. He sang.
Okay.
You must have seen his video when we did the duet from Ali Day.
Let me take Barbiere.
Yeah, Barbiere. Okay.
Okay. Barbiere.
Yeah, Barbiere. Yeah, sure. See.
Okay. So in Barbiere, for a baritone, it's very, very important to pronunciate very well the recitativi. Okay. So
yeah,
he has to study very much because it's very long for Figaro. He's speaking so much. Okay. No. Eccoci qua. Okay. Okay. Figaro is a very high baritone. So he's singing a lot of very high notes. And so the question he was doing is quite important because he's doing all the time this going up and down, up and down. And you know, in Rossini and all the bel canto composers, the acute notes are not expressive. In Verdi, in Puccini, and in most of the more contemporary composers, when you have a high note, it's like a shout, I'm going to kill you, or I love you, Not in Rossini, not in Mozart. It's just music. So when you are going up and down, up and down, up and down, you have to do it in a way that doesn't seem you are going up and down. And for yourself, Joe, if you sing also Almaviva,
yeah,
it's the same.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. So we have this all'idea di quel metallo, and then for me, the most important thing is to start the phrase in a very soft way, not doing all'idea, because it's going to close your throat. But all'idea di quel metallo portentoso, onnipotente. That's the only thing he has to control. Non but very softly. All'idea di quel metallo portentoso, onnipotente. Un vulcano, la mia mente già comincia a diventarsi. All'idea di quel metallo, un vulcano, la mia mente incomincia di... And that's it. Okay, that's the main thing. When you have an acute note in a phrase, start softly. And you are going to reach softly the acute. And the same for you, Joe. When you're going to, you're starting for a sol, for a G, from a G. Sube, diamo, anche lì. Sube! You are not going anywhere. If you start, Joe?
I'm here.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
As an answer? I'm
giving. Hello?
Yes?
I'm here.
Okay. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you to also the open throat, because some people will also want to understand further what you did when you did sol, so, as in open. How do you open?
You don't open. It's just open.
No, I mean your mouth, your jaw. What do you do on your jaw? Exactly. You can talk to them. You can talk more about it.
Nothing special. Just in that case, you do an U. U, A, E, I, O, U.
Okay, it's clear.
As normal as you can, but at the extreme. That's the main thing. You don't do I, O, U. You just try to imagine an opera theater. It's big. You are 50 or 70 meters away from the public. You have to do big things to reach them. It doesn't mean singing very loudly, but you have to be very specific in the pronunciation, because if you don't do that, when the voice reaches the people, it's like everything is going to be like blah, 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 blah. Nobody's not going to understand anything. And you have to add to that the thing that pronunciation very well makes much more easy to sing.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Okay. Yes, very clear. Okay, let's see. Do we have any other question? Yes, somebody said, I am a tenor, but I find it very difficult to sing high notes. Could it be as a result of my big tummy? Oh my God.
I have a big tummy too. No.
Okay,
you know
probably
what?
the person wants you to talk about support. If you can talk about a little about breathing and support.
As I was saying before, everything that is related with the diaphragm, it's not easy to control because you don't have direct access to your diaphragm. So when you are, for example, trying to support your voice, if you do any kind of force, you can really find where you are doing that force. That's not going to be the diaphragm. And so doing force to sustain the air, it's just going to close your throat. It's clear?
Yeah, it's clear, guys. Bring out your questions. Yeah, it's for me. It's clear. What effects? Oh no. There's a question below that. Tips for auditions for schools, competition, opera companies. And could you suggest a few areas? Could you suggest a few areas if you know for baritone singers for auditions? That's a tricky.
You can sing whatever you want in an audition. Many auditions ask you what they want to hear, and you are going to take that. But many of them also just ask to hear your voice, and there you are going to sing what it's better for your voice. Just one big small tip: don't do anything you consider difficult. It's much better a stupid aria very well sung than a very difficult aria sung more or less. So sing whatever you think it's very easy in audition. And after that, opera companies are very good in Germany, France, and maybe Netherlands, Austria also. In the other countries, not so good doing auditions. For singing schools, you have to take care, because the main problem in all Europe is that in the conservatoires, the level of the singing classes is not very high. In some of them, yes, but in most of them, it's not very high. So you have to be very careful about that. If you are as Chinese, Korean people who are very interested for the title and not so much for the technique, it's okay. You just don't worry. You go there and you study. But if your main interest is really to sing, you will have to take a look before you come to study. You are going to need to take a look on the teachers, and then decide where you want to go to study, because it's quite difficult to find a very good voice teacher. In the other way, I think that it's quite easy to enter to a European conservatoire. And I don't know prices in Nigeria, but I know prices in South and North America, and these are very cheap. European conservatoires are very cheap. It's like 1,000 euros per year So it's easy and cheap. So maybe it's not so bad to try in Italian or French or German conservatory. Next.
Okay, so we move on to so much questions now.
Nobody's willing to work with me. So shine.
I know. So we go to the next one. This is also very important. What effects are bodybuilding exercises on the voice? What effect does bodybuilding exercises done on a voice? People who do yeah. What effect does it do on the voice? People who do weight lifts to build their muscle. What effect does it do on the voice?
Well, you know, as you can see, I'm not a guy who's doing a lot of exercise. I think that some exercise is fantastic because it improves your respiration and your lungs and your diaphragm and the resistance and the complete muscular shape of your whole body. But doing too much, the problem is that it's going to make harder to sing softly. And that's a big problem because you can sing not softly one area or two or maybe three, but a complete opera is very difficult. So I don't recommend absolutely to the opera singers to make bodybuilding or many exercises. Also because there is a main thing. Most of the exercises we can do if you go to the gym or something are in the abdominal part of your body. And the exercises tend to do the abdominals going inside. And you need the abdominals going outside to sing. Because when you have plenty of air inside, you don't have to do, no, you have to expand all the time. That's also very important to make very much fluid your air. So if you are doing a lot of abdominals and then trying to put your tummy out to sing, it's not going to work very well.
Okay, I thought so too. That's very good. Thank you. Let me look for the next. Oh, there are so many questions. Okay. Bodybuilding. Okay, good. Hello, sir. I am new to singing and I would like to know how I can identify my vocal range. I am a female. How can I tell if I am an alto or a soprano?
Do you care so much? That's the main question. Why do you care so much?
It's
yeah,
because...
I know.
Okay.
You know, let's say this. Everybody wants to reach the very, very high notes. Oh, I have this and I can reach that and blah, blah. The problem is, how do you reach that? In which way? What's the sound like? Also because the big difference between an alto and a soprano is like 2 notes. That's all. You can have a Verdian alto who reaches the high C, and then having a Puccini soprano whose highest note is also a high C. So it's not big difference on what you can reach, but the difference is in the color and where you feel more comfortable to sing. When I have a new pupil, and I have a lot of them, if he's a man, I'm trying to look for the passaggio. I don't care what he can reach. I have a very fine pupil in Spain who is a bass. He easily reaches the high C, no problem. But his passaggio is so low that if I put him, if I ask him to sing tenor arias, he's going to be very, very tired after one page. So the problem is not what can I reach, but where I feel comfortable. That's the main question, to see what kind of voice you are. And also, if you are a soprano, for example, you can be a very high coloratura soprano, or you can be a very low dramatic soprano. And it's going to be an enormous difference between those kind of voices. And so the main name you're putting to your voice is not so much important. Mostly if you are a female. If you're a man, maybe. If you're a female, no. Don't worry. Sing whatever you want and try to start thinking what is making you more comfortable. And that's where your voice is going to be better.
Okay, awesome. So let me get the next question. Somebody say that is a soprano. Let me scroll down. Okay, great. Hello, I am a soprano. How can I achieve singing legato?
Legato. You know, what is legato? You can say that legato is putting all the words mostly together. But from a technical point of view, legato means that you are not interrupting the harmonics in your voice, passing from one note to the other. And so maybe the problem is about the vibration of the vocal cords and not about putting everything together. So maybe maybe this will sound strange for somebody, but to make better legato, I used to separate very well the sounds. So if Joe, for example, is singing Barbiere di Siviglia, and he's singing
the first aria, probably.
You know, the song, the little song, Se il mio nome saper voi bramato.
Se il mio nome, yeah.
Infatti, and it's if you do all the same, you are going to be Se il mio nome saper voi bramate, dal mio labbro il mio nome ascoltate. Okay, but it is not very well legato. Why? Because doing one big sound for everything is not going to feed well the harmonics of your voice. As I am not pronunciating very well, it's going, the voice is going bigger, smaller in different parts, and so your voice is like zoom, 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 zoom. It's not all the time. But if you pronunciate very well and you say, se il mio nome saper voi brahma a te, it's going to be more legato. Se il mio nome saper voi bramate. Se il mio nome saper voi bramate. It's true. Because I'm not allowing the voice to go without harmonics. It doesn't seem like that way. Our intuition says exactly the contrary. But dal mio nome, dal mio labbro il mio nome ascoltate. Io son l'indoro. All the letters, all the letters. If I say, io son l'indoro che fido, it's not going to be legato. And maybe you are hearing from your phone and you can understand the words. But if you are 50 or 70 meters away from me, you are going to say to hear a not the words. But if I exaggerate it, io son l'indoro che fido v'adoro, che sposa vi bramo. That is going to be legato. So pronunciate very well, move your mouth and move your lips, and that is going to give the liberty your larynx needs. Free. And also you're going to achieve legato. Okay.
Also, hello guys. If you're in a noisy environment, please mute yourself. I don't want to mute everybody, otherwise I'm going to mute our facilitator. Please mute yourself or don't make noise in your background. Okay, so we move to the next. Chart, good. So we have we've answered this, we have answered this, we have answered this, we have answered this, you have okay, so tips on phrasing, breath control exercises and tips, please. Tips on phrasing. Anyway, phrasing also goes with the legato that you just answered, but you can also give more tips on it, including the breath control exercises. That's what this person is asking for.
Also in this matter, the answer is the exact opposite of what you may think it is. Don't save your air, lose it. When you sing, when you are singing very tight, I will use the same phrase. If you say, se il mio nome saper voi bramate, you are closing your larynx. Okay? So it's going to be difficult to reopen it during the phrase. And that will cause that the air you have is going to remain inside your body. And stupidly, the result is that you are going to have the impression that you have to breathe once again more quickly than if everything is loose and open. So if you are singing "Se il mio nome saper voi bramate," think that you have a little bit of air in your pronunciation. Se il mio nome saper voi bramate. A, E, I, O, U. Do a very good pronunciation, but lose your air. So the complete system is going to be open and connected, and your air is going to list much more. Then if you try, I have a fly, that if you, he's trying to eat me. He's going to eat like months with me. So lose your air. Don't sing, "Se il mio nome saper." No, "Se il mio nome, se il mio nome saper voi bramate. In that way, you are going to have much more air, just because you are going to be very well connected.
Okay. That's great.
Sir, but I have a question, sir. If you keep giving the open sound, and won't it cause you to actually lose the head that you're trying to save for the whole phrase?
Sorry, I don't get that.
If you're trying to do a phrase,
yes,
and you said I should lose more air, that technically I should lose air while doing the phrase. But I'm trying to, let's say it's a long phrase, and
yes.
I'm trying to go the whole phrase with the air I have in my body currently.
Yes.
And you're saying I should lose air, but I'm trying to conserve the air. I don't know, it's a bit confusing to me. Please, if you can shed more light.
Okay. Two important things. The first one, you know who Gregory Kunde is?
I do. Some people do too. Yeah.
Okay. Gregory Kunde is one of the best tenors in our time. He said to me one time, you know, when you hear a singer and he has a very, very long fiato, and he does a big phrase without breathing, I say, wow, that's fantastic. It's very nice. But if you do that, if two do that, you have a shitty sound. It's better not to do it and breathe in the middle. That's the first thing. So you don't just try to do long phrases because you think it's going to be more interesting, because it's not. Long phrases are as long as the composer needs it. For example, here in Barbiere, you can do both of the first two phrases both with the same fiato, but it's not beautiful. It's not nice. Se il mio nome saper voi bramate, dal mio nome il mio labbro e dal mio labbro il mio nome ascoltate. Why? It's not normal to say that. Se il mio nome saper voi bramate, dal mio labbro il mio nome ascoltate. It's normal in that way, because you will speak in that way, and we are trying to do things as normal as possible. That's the first thing. Second thing, this is one thing that Alfredo Kraus, a very, very famous and fine Spanish tenor, used to say. You need to think that you are still breathing when you are singing. So you breathe, and then when you start singing, you think that you are breathing once again. And so you are going to reach an open chest. Your chest is going to be open. That will help you to sustain the air and to have more air for a longer phrase. It's just an idea. Just when you are singing, think that you are breathing. I know it doesn't make any sense, but you just think it. So you breathe. Il mio nome so per voi bramate, dal mio no labbro il mio nome ascoltate. And it's going to be longer. It's true, it's very easy. And it's just an idea, a concept. You want to try?
Yes, I would like to try it.
Okay, I cannot see you.
I am here.
Please, can you introduce yourself, please? Can you introduce yourself? Let's know who the person is. Who is trying? Is that Henry or who? Henry, could you put your phone or what on mute?
No, I'm here.
Yeah, somebody's interfering with the sound because the person left it on. Okay, go on.
Infinix Note 4. Infinix Note 4, the one drinking water. He has to mute.
Yes. I don't want to mute everybody because if I mute everybody, I'm going to mute our facilitator as well. So please get yourself muted while we go on. So the person who wants to, the person that say he wants to try, I couldn't see your name. So move on.
My name is Somto. I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here. My name is Somto.
Ah, here you are. I didn't get your name.
Somto.
Okay.
Somto.
Yes.
That's it. Oh, yes. I'm fantastic on this. So you're a tenor.
Yes. Yes, I am a tenor.
What do you sing?
I didn't hear you, sir.
Anything? What do you sing?
Okay. I could try singing the Una Furtiva.
Okay. Just one tip. U, the letter U. Okay. Don't try to take out a lot of sound from U. You are not going to hear a lot of sound. It's not like ooh. No. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay?
Okay. Una furtiva lacrima.
Okay, great. Now, let's think on the letters, on the vocals. Una furtiva lacrima is almost U-I-A. Okay. And that, please do A with a big open mouth. Una furtiva lacrima.
Una furtiva lacrima.
Una U. The second one is a U, non O. Furtiva.
Una furtiva lacrima.
Okay. So if you think una furtiva lacrima, just put some air in your voice.
Okay. Should I sing?
No. First speaking, because speaking is easier, and you're getting better the idea. Una furtiva lacrima.
lagrima.
Okay, and now you're ready. Just think when you are breathing and when you are attacking the first note, the fa with the F with U, that you start breathing once again.
Una furtiva lagrima.
Wow, that's much better. You can realize that it's easier. It's easier, and everything is not trembling. It's just smooth.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we go to the next. Please, when you want to ask a question, please throw it on the chat so that it won't take so much time. But Sebastian, I can tell you we have so many questions here.
Okay.
So many questions. Okay, so one person is
asking. I have a big bottle of whiskey. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm reading one out now. Please. Okay, you have talked about this a little bit. Please, I would like to know how to sing a high note without tension in my chest. I have tried singing from my diaphragm, but the sound doesn't come out.
Okay, who is this person? Can we work with him or her for a small minute?
Ralph Maris. If we can't, then we can move to the next. You can explain, or we move to the next question.
Yeah, but I would like to do a little exercise for that.
Ralph Maris, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's driving.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ralph, just think on what we were doing before. That this thing of breathing during your singing is going to help you taking much of the tension to the diaphragm, and that's okay. That's very good. So your diaphragm has to be very active when you are singing. Maybe the main problem is that you are making force with the small muscles that are in your chest, and that's not enough to support your breathing. So if you think on breathing, your diaphragm is going to have most of the tension, and then maybe you are going to reach high notes without all this tension in your chest. Because guys, you have to know, you have to realize that every single muscle of our body has just one movement, and the diaphragm, when he goes in tension, he uses his only movement going down. So when we breathe, the thing as the diaphragm goes down, and they call it the inverse vacuum. And so when the diaphragm goes down, the pressure of air is very low, and so the air comes inside through your nose, through your nose or your mouth. When you expire, then the diaphragm goes up once again, but not in tension, and so the air goes out. To sing, we have to we need a higher pressure. So the main thing is that the diaphragm makes a strange movement going up, but in tension. So if you think that you are breathing when singing, you are giving the input to the diaphragm to be in tension while you are pushing your air outside the mouth. Is that clear?
Okay. So we have, thank you so much. We have the next question, which goes, How do you achieve evenness of tone while singing in an opera? How do you also balance acting and singing on stage, especially when you have difficult passages? So the evenness, how do you achieve evenness of tone while singing in an opera? The second one is, how do you also balance acting and singing on stage, especially when you have a difficult
passage?
Yes.
Well, as I am saying from the beginning, the main goal of at least my way of singing is doing everything as natural as I can. So as I'm trying to think that I am not singing but speaking in different notes, then the tones, I try not to think about them. If you try to pronunciate very, very well and in a very extreme way, you are going to realize that you are going to give less importance to the tones, also to the high notes, because you are thinking on giving better the vocals. And so reaching the notes is going to be much easier if you do that. Also because your brain is distracted in another thing and your vocal cords are going to work better because you are not disturbing them. And that is very important. It's very important to realize that the best way to have a good sound is to leave your chords alone. You don't have to do big difference between one tone and the other. Obviously, everybody has these portions of the voice we call passaggio, where you may have to do something to go up or down with the same color of voice. But it doesn't mean that you have to do more or less force or something to reach the notes. It's your chords, your vocal cords are going to reach the notes, not you. You cannot do anything to help them. And that's very important. So when you are thinking on the good pronunciation, you start losing the idea that you have to help the chords to reach the note. And then your singing is much clearer. And it's the same answer to the second part. When you are acting, if you are pronunciating very well what you are saying, you are being a much better actor, because actors also have voices, and you are being a much better singer because you are not putting pressure on your vocal cords and your larynx. So I don't think there's an answer to that other to pronunciate and pronunciate very well. It's going to be easier, and you're going to feel much more free to do movements also.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Then we have this okay. Joe, I can willing. What? Okay, you mentioned passage. Okay, this is somebody saying something different. What actually the appoggio breathing technique? What is actually the appoggio breathing technique? And could you possibly give a little talk about belting?
Belting, no, because I'm not very familiar with that. Yeah. But always the same. Appoggio, how do you reach that? Because appoggio means that you are increasing the pressure of the air you are that is going through your cords. Remember one important thing: the cords are not meaning to touch each other. It's the mucus which is between them who gives us the sound. It's not actually the cords, but the fluid. It's like that. It's not the lips, but the wet. And that's also for the cords. So the cords has to be separated to allow the air pass. If you close very, very much your cords, you're going to obtain something like a sound. I think in normal voice, the cords are a little bit more open, but not so much. And to sing, we have to open them a little bit more and do an and that gives you more liberty to go out up and down. And speaking about appoggio, I think that the best way to think on appoggio is to think on where you want to arrive with your voice. Everybody can do this small exercise. Just look when your ribs finish and put your fingers just down, like, can you see it? You know, I have a lot of things here, but I can realize where my ribs finish. Put your fingers, not making too much force, there, and try this. If you say in a normal tone, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Okay, it's moving just a little bit appoggio, because the body knows that we don't need very high pressure of the air, because I am speaking with a phone which is like half meter away from my mouth. But if I think that I'm speaking to a person who is quite far away, not shouting, but just trying to reach that person, and I see a friend in the market and I say, hey, how are you? Hey! If you do this exercise, you will find that when you try to give your voice away, far away, you are obtaining appoggio. And when you are speaking to a close distance, you don't have it. So once again, it's a natural thing. So just when you are singing, when you need more appoggio, think that your voice has to reach a point far away from you. It's very simple, and it's very automatic, and it's very natural. Because at the end of the day, appoggio is not going down, but going ahead. It means that I know that it's different from what normal teachers used to say, but I speak about this with lots of very fine singers around European theaters, and most of the good ones agree on this. Obviously, there are a lot of people who do appoggio in very different ways, and it's still working. It doesn't mean that it's not going to work if you don't do like this. But for me, it's the easiest way. It's always the same. The way as you think your voice, and not what you do. there was a very, very, very fine tenor in the start of the 20th century. His name was Giacomo Lauri Volpi. He used to say that singing, it's a way of thinking and not a way of doing. And that's true. The way you are going to think your sound, it's what the body is going to do. I hope that this answer gives you some important tips.
Okay, so we move to...
I have to say that I am quite boring answering the question like this. I would like people to show them and to work.
Many people here are shy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Can I speak?
Oh yeah, go on. You
No,
please
Peter.
introduce yourself and tell us where you are coming from. I think you are from South Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes, Tenor. Yeah,
Peter.
This is Peter. This is Peter from South Africa. Hi, Maestro.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thank you. And
so you're a baritone or a tenor?
Tenor,
tenor. Tenor. Okay.
Yes.
Big boys.
Okay. Okay. Actually, it's not really a question. Actually, I just want to probably, because of the question you've been asking, nobody is coming up to do something or something. I don't think I'm shy. You understand? I also want to go along. I mean, if there is something you want to work on, voice-wise, okay. I'm here as well. I'm here, and I believe. Yeah.
I'm also available if you need. I'm also here to sing too for training.
Peter.
Yes, Maestro.
Tell me. What would you like to work on? Because there was an
I'm also available too.
Okay, one after the
other. I think that I think that too much people is speaking at the same time. That's great. Yep. We are going to work with everybody, but one at a time. Yeah. So Peter, I didn't get what would you like to do?
Okay, Maestro, my question again, based on the fact that I believe this is supposed to be probably a class that is going to help us voice-wise and also to enable us to know how to sing very well. So on behalf of myself and also every other person, I believe probably if you work with one person, it's also going to help so many people. So which is the reason why I avail myself. I'm ready to work. I mean, anything you want us to do, I mean, I'm here. That will also help many people as well.
Okay, tell me, what do you sing, Peter?
What's your voice type, Peter?
He says that he's a tenor. Okay?
Tenor, okay.
What kind of tenor? Which repertoire does he do?
Sorry, it was actually breaking when you were speaking. I didn't hear that very well.
What do you sing normally? What repertoire you do?
Okay, I do opera.
Okay.
I do what? I do opera. I do opera.
Yeah.
I also do,
we have a little bit interruptions, and I didn't get the answer.
I do
Peter,
also now focus on
Peter, what kind of tenor are you? Are you a leggero tenor? Are you a lyric tenor? Are you a dramatic tenor? That's what he wants to hear. And what are the repertoire? Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't hear the question. It was breaking actually. I'm dramatic. Okay. I'm dramatic, so to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. So you sing what? Otello?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
If you are a dramatic tenor.
Yes.
What do you sing? Otello? Forza?
Turandot? What?
Turandot? Yeah, but You know, Joe, Turandot is quite a lyric tenor with high notes. It's not so much dramatic because the tessitura is very high.
Very
So
high, yeah.
if you put a really dramatic tenor to go for Calaf, he's going to be out of the game at the end of the area. And then you have to do all the duetto, and it's very hard.
Suicide.
I still cannot understand why the sounds are breaking now. It's not
Yeah.
everything that I hear properly.
When you speak, it goes and breaks. Hi,
Yeah.
Stephanie. Hi.
When I'm getting the feedback, I don't know. There is a way it happens.
Okay. I was saying, if you're a dramatic tenor, more, you know, the differences between the different types of tenors, of sopranos and baritones, they're quite an invention. It's not true. Not one composer in the history of opera wrote an opera for a dramatic tenor or for a lyric tenor or for a leggero tenor. They write them to tenors. They say tenor. So yes, can be, there's a reason why they say this is dramatic, this is lyric, this is spinto, but you don't have to be always in that scheme. You can see Jonas Kaufmann, the most important tenor of our times. You can look on YouTube and you will find him singing Mozart, Richard Strauss, Wagner, Verdi, Donizetti, Bizet, everything. And you search for, I don't know, Pavarotti or Domingo, Carreras. They also sing Mozart and Rossini and whatever. That doesn't mean that these differences are not true, but it means that take care. Don't put yourself too much a definition. Just I'm a tenor. And what do you sing? Well, you know, I'm singing this and this singing that, and I also did this and that. Don't say too much that you are this kind of singer, because it may not be true. When I arrived to Italy, my first teacher said to me, "You're a Wagnerian tenor. You're a Helden tenor." Okay, great. I was very happy because I like Wagner and I like Wagner Rose and everything. But after that, I sang Mozart, Rossini, Verdi, Puccini, a lot of things. I never sang a Wagnerian opera, not yet. I know I can, I know I will, but never did it. So if I go to everybody and say I'm a Helden tenor, they're going to say me, okay, great, let's sing Tannhäuser. And I will say, I'm sorry, I don't know it. And I need 2 years to study it. But if they say me, okay, let's sing, I don't know, Verdi, I'm going to say, okay, yes, why not? Next month, yes. Next week, yes, why not? So be careful. So Peter, what roles you sing? What arias you sing?
Yes, maestro.
Which arias do you sing?
What arias? What roles you sing?
Okay. In most cases, just like what you said, I really don't like titling my tenor, because from when I came to South Africa, from we walked, working with the choir and everything, you understand, you find out that you got a little bit disorganized voice-wise, but at the end of the day, when you decide to give yourself a specialty, that was actually the reason why I decided to consult with the tenor, which is also doing very good for me now. So what I do now, because I just recently gone back to opera, so what I do now is that with the voice instructor, an Italian maestra that I'm working with, she's been focusing so much on some of the like the some of the Toscas and the Puccinis and the rest of them. Those are the areas that
I
she
just
wants
hope
to
you answer this
concentrate on.
question so quick.
Okay, but
Yeah,
do you
because she wants
realize? Do you realize that in Italy, at least, if you sing Tosca, you are not defined as a dramatic tenor? It's lyric tenor, a lyric. Not even a spinto, just lyric tenor.
Okay.
And that's okay. That's the best. That's the best because much of the operas are for lyric singers. So, okay, you are singing Cavaradossi. Perfect. Are you having problems with the first aria, which is very difficult?
Some of them, yes. Some of them, yes. But which is the reason why also, which is the reason why she is focusing on trying to make sure that she guides the voice towards some certain ranges. So she's been trying so many things to make sure that she gets it in line with what she wants. You understand? So she's actually the person who tells me that, I mean, it has to be according to how she wants to guide it so that she will get me around a particular thing. You understand? So I really don't know.
How old are you, Peter?
Can we move on?
How old are you, Peter?
Yeah, I'm 42.
42?
Yes.
Okay. But at that age, you can sing whatever you want. You don't have to go around. You go for it.
Okay.
And just try to sing soft. When you start recondita armonia, don't go for it like recondita armonia. No, it's too much. Too much. Just sing recondita armonia. Recondita armonia. Very softly. The voice is going to go bigger, but just because it's going to reach more distance. That's all you have to know for singing this aria. Don't push, just put well your movements. Joe?
I'm here.
Is that okay for you, Peter? Or you have another? Okay. Joe, go for the next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I work on Rossini now?
What do you want to do? Sebastian, do you want us to go with the question, or do you want us to have somebody?
I would like two people to say, I sing this and I have this problem.
I can't hear that. Sorry.
I would like people to say, okay, I'm blah blah, and I sing this, and I have this problem. So,
okay,
because my aim is to help, not to give a big speech.
Okay, gifts. What do you want to do?
Figaro from Baba.
Figaro.
Yes.
Okay, so Figaro, aria di Figaro.
Okay, let's go to Largo. Yes,
Largo
Largo.
il factotum. Yes, here it is.
Yes.
Just realize that Largo il factotum has a lot of ah, and so do it very ah. Okay.
Yes, I have a question. I noticed that Rossini usually writes melismatic notes that are very, very fast. And I have tried singing from the part that says, bravo Figaro, bravo Vissimo, bravo Figaro, bravo Vissimo. That part. How do I resonate that part when singing it? How do I resonate such very fast notes when singing?
Maybe you have to start slower.
Okay, how do I sing in resonance?
Don't care about that shit.
How do I sing in resonance?
You don't care. You are big enough. You have surely a big voice. Don't care. Just pronunciate well. Don't go for the technical things. Your body is not going to understand. Go for the real, with the for the normal things. So if you're, let me check. Eccolo. Scusami. Give me a moment. Okay. This is the part. So when you start studying, you first begin for the text. You always start from the text, not from the music, from the text. So you start. Ah, bravo, Figaro, bravo, bravissimo, fortunatissimo, fortunatissimo. A te fortuna non mancherà. And as I said you before, if you say, ah, bravo, Figaro, bravo, bravissimo,
Okay.
a te fortuna non mancherà. And then you just put the notes, but just trying to do it the same way. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Fortunatissimo, 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 per verità.
Okay.
But pronunciating very well. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna, non mancherà. Ah! Your turn, your turn.
Okay. Should I sing or I should say it? Should I sing or speech?
Start saying it. Start saying it.
Okay. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. A te fortuna non mancherà.
Okay, but if you realize you're jumping on some letters. For example, fortuna. Fortuna is like, it's not important for you. A te fortuna, a te fortuna. A
te fortuna.
A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna.
A te fortuna, a te fortuna.
Ok, e perciò, and then, ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. A te fortuna, non mancherà.
Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. A te fortuna, non mancherà.
A te fortuna. Say the last A of fortuna.
Okay. A te fortuna.
A te fortuna, a te fortuna. Ah.
A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna.
Okay, now just try to sing it the same way, the same way.
Okay. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. A te fortuna, non mancherà.
Okay, great. Now, much better. Now, when you have un abbellimento, two notes for the same word, tu, una, you don't go to the second U as it was the first one, and you are just putting it in the different way, in the different note. You do a different vocal. Tu, una. A te fortuna.
A te fortuna.
Okay. A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna, non mancherà.
A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna.
You're doing a te fortuna, tuna, no, tuna.
Tuna.
Yes.
Tuna. Okay. A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna, non mancherà.
Okay, now don't close your throat before ah. I know that in English or mostly in German, when you start your phrase with a vocal, you do this closer. not in Italian, never. So first open your throat when you are breathing. A te fortuna, non mancherà.
A te fortuna, non mancherà.
Oh, bravo, bravo. A te fortuna, a te fortuna, no,
A te fortuna.
Okay, not your U is like O. A te fortuna.
Okay. A te fortuna. A
A
te
te
fortuna.
fortuna, te fortuna, non mancherà.
A te fortuna, non mancherà.
Much better. Much better. And then when you have all the notes who go which goes higher, non mancherà. So go on. Sono il factotum della città.
Sono il factotum della città. Sono il factotum. Okay.
Okay, but you are jumping on the nose. Sono il factotum della città.
Sono il factotum della città. Sono il factotum.
No. Il factotum della città.
Sono il factotum
No,
della A. Sono il factotum della città.
della città.
Oh, okay. Della città.
Okay, you have to do all the notes, and even if you are making couple of notes or 3 notes on the same vocal, you have to divide it and you have to redo the sound. Sono il factotum della città. Sono il factotum della città. Okay?
Okay.
You are jumping too much.
Sono il factotum. So can I get the C?
Yeah.
Sono il factotum della città. Sono il factotum della città, della città.
Wow, that's much better. And I can realize, tell me if you can also, that when you are thinking about il factor, to put once again these notes on your voice, you are thinking much less about the notes. You are much less scared about the cues. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so do it once again.
Sono il factotum della città. Sono il factotum della città, della. Sorry, a round of air.
You can do what they call a touch it. So don't sing the last time della città. Sono il factotum della città. Sono il factotum della città, della città. No, that last one you cannot sing it. Della città, tan, tan, della città. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
So you do della città.
Sono il factotum. Okay.
At the end.
Sono il factotum della città, sono il factotum della città, della città, della città.
Okay, fantastic. Now, della, open your mouth. Ah!
Okay. Della città.
Okay, better, but I think you can open it a little bit more. Ah, all your mouth. Show us all your teeth. Ah!
Okay.
Take down.
Okay.
Okay. Remember what I said before. If you are going to an acute note, the phrase should start very softly. So the and on the.
Okay.
Now it's much better. Can you feel it?
Yes, I can. Opening up. Yes, on the
Okay.
R.
Obviously, this kind of areas, Figaro is a great area. All the baritone says that even if they are singing very dramatic roles, once a year they return to Figaro because it put your voice in the good place once again. But it's very difficult because it's very acute for a normal baritone. And it's not going to be perfect the first time you do it or just with some small tips. But I think that you realize how to think about it and to do it much better. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Maestro. Thank you very much.
Okay, some people are raising their hands. Ted, what's up?
All right, good evening, Joe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
I cannot display my...
Before you go on, Sebastian wants to see everybody's face speaking, unless you're not, I don't know how to say it, but he wants to see everybody's face.
Okay, so I will try to make my face available, but because of the network, if I try to put on the video, then I'll lose.
I see.
So I think that's what is affecting me here right now. But I will try to put that on so that he could see my face.
Yes. Okay. Hi, Ted.
Hi, Sebastian. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm calling from Nigeria. Actually, a friend of mine introduced me to this Zoom, and I'm very happy to be here. And I say thank you very much.
Happy to have you here.
So the other time I sent a comment and I did not get a response. So I wanted to know, I'm not familiar with all of these musical terms. I'm not a musicologist. I just like opera, I like classical music, and my favorite is Pavarotti. So I enjoy all of these kind of performances, and I really want to know. I mean, you try to talk about the type of voices. So using Pavarotti, can you describe using Pavarotti and his brothers? I mean, what's his other? Jos and Domingos, right? Can you describe using them the types of tenor? I'm not familiar with the types of tenor. I only know that there are tenors, and I mean, I'm just getting to know that we have different types of tenors. And then if somebody wants to sing like Luciano Pavarotti, I mean, he was the best in the world once upon a time, and would it be possible? Are there lessons someone can do to be able to achieve this kind of singing from Pavarotti, especially?
Okay. I really admire Pavarotti too, but let's say, and Joe and the others are going to agree with me, he's not the only. Many fine tenors of the 20th century, and you can, and it's a nice thing. In YouTube, we have lots and lots and lots of registrations of recordings. I'm sorry, of all the tenors from the 20th century. So just go there and see them and hear them. Because Pavarotti was very nice singing some things, but there are other who sing better other things. For example, the bel canto repertoire, mostly Rossini. He never sang that. Mozart, yes, he sang a little bit, but not very much. Gluck, fantastic composer, also never sang that. And many, many others. So don't stay in one singer. Saying that, if you like him, obviously go for him. You wanted the categories. Yes, I don't like very much this thing, as I said before, of categories, but mainly we have 3 or 4 of them in tenors. You have first the light tenor, which is a tenor who can reach very high notes, and he can sing in the higher part of the tessitura of his voice. Lots of operas were written in that part, in the high notes between D and G, and you're singing all the time there. Voices are not so big, but are very are like a lane. They're pointing very well the sound, reaching a lot of distance, but not with a big sound. After that, we have the most common normal tenor, which is the lyric tenor. Lyric tenor is most of the roles that we have for tenors are lyric, Bohème, Don Giovanni, everything, Elisir d'Amore, also Tosca, and most of Verdi is for lyric tenor. Then we have a type of tenor we don't say normally in Italy, but they are used to sing German repertoire, which is the Helden tenor, the heroic tenor, mostly for German repertoire. After that, we have the spinto tenor. Spinto means pushed. It doesn't mean a tenor who push his voice, but he has to sing very high. He's going to be jumping all the time, up and down, up and down, up and down. So it has to be a big force. It's a person who has a lot of strength to go up and down to the notes. And there you have most of the very, very famous roles for tenors. La fanciulla del West, La Forza, La Sonnambula, no, La Sonnambula, no, I'm sorry, La Gioconda, lots of very powerful tenors. And then at the end, you have the dramatic tenor, which is mostly a baritone, but who knows how to sing high notes. And then for this kind of tenor, the tessitura is very low. You're singing most of the time in the way of baritone, but sometimes you have very, very high notes. It's the case of Otello from Verdi and other works, and that's all. That are all the categories. But as I always say, you can find also a lyric tenor singing Otello and the dramatic one singing Lucia della Mermur, which is meant to be lyric tenor. You don't have to care so much about that. You can sing it and you feel comfortable on singing that, just go and sing. Joe?
Okay. I hope you don't mind. I go back to questions. There are some people who ask questions since.
Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Those people are bugging me on privately. Please, I asked a question, but I'm still going to take it step by step. I'm coming. So sorry. There's so many questions here. This is serious.
No girls. I don't see any girls. Why? Are you all tenors in Nigeria?
As a matter of fact, we have more sopranos in Nigeria than we have as male singers.
Boring.
Okay, please, what type of good outward abdominal exercise I'm concerned that my breath control and capacity to stay on key. You have answered that, don't worry. Can you tell what you meant by passaggio? Matthew, I think he has answered this. What's passaggio?
Yes, let's say this.
You want to say, okay, go on.
Yeah, let's say this. Passaggio is a movement of your voice, we say tessitura, when the way of vibrating of the vocal cords has to change. Just because the vocal cords are muscles who are vibrating in different parts of the extension of this pair. And when we reach the one point, the vocal cord has to change the type of vibration just to reach new notes. It's exactly the same as when you are driving your car and you have to pass the how do you say, Joe, the march?
I think clutch or brake.
The clutch.
The clutch.
The clutch. You engage the clutch to change the gear.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's the passaggio. Just a moment when you have to change the type of vibration just to reach a higher note. It's a physics fact. It exists. It's there. But your body knows how to do it. So you can choose if you do it naturally or you pass through making a thing. In the case of the tenors, most of us must to do a thing there. In the case of women, they pass through much more naturally. So if they don't think too much about that, maybe they are going to pass through without knowing what they are doing. And it's much easier. In the case of the lower voices, maybe they don't do anything. They just go for the acute direct, we say open, because they don't have so many acute notes. So it doesn't matter very much. The problem is normally with the tenors and sometimes with the baritones who has to say very high notes. Is that okay?
Okay, so I'm trying to get the next question in line. If there is one thing I'm taking from here, okay, that's a comment. Somebody's asking something about voice change. Do you voice change every day? Because some days my voice are deep and I find it hard to reach high notes, while some days it is too thin. Is it a result of the weather or what I eat? Basically, I consider myself to be a baritone.
Okay. I think that the answer for that is that most of the time it will depend on your technique and not on the other things. Maybe you are charging too much, giving too much weight to your singing, and that's why you're eating, you're sleeping, you're making sex, your everything will influence on your rendition. If you sing lighter, you will see that even if you are tired or you that day you don't want to sing, you are not feeling so much energetic, if you sing light with a natural way, which is pronunciating very well and doing all the things we are speaking about, you are going to reach more or less the same notes every day. Franco Corelli, a very, very famous Italian singer from the 70s, used to say that he always sing at the very top acutes in every single show. But he realized that one day he was a little weak, one day he was a little ill, one day he was perfect, but every single time he reaches the same notes. That's because he had a method to reach those notes. It doesn't care how are you feeling that day. So look on your technique, look on the weight you give to your voice to have an answer for that.
Awesome. Should I go on with another question or should I?
Yes.
Okay, great. So someone is asking, I am a soprano. How can I strengthen my voice to control the use of vibrato?
Oh, vibrato. Vibrato is an issue. I never think on vibrato. For me, it's a natural thing. Vibrato is just the way the chords do its work. But I can realize that mostly in the American technique, in the American school of singing, they add vibrato to the voice. They just do a little movement here in the throat to add more vibrato. I don't know. Maybe there's something about your language, what you speak, but for me it's not an issue. Vibrato, it comes to the voice with the voice. It's like normal. I'm not doing anything, and I can hear. But that's not a good question for me because I really don't do anything. maybe you are doing a lot of force in the backside of your chest, because in the French school of popular music, they use the force in the back part of the chest to take out the vibrato. So maybe you are doing something there, but I don't want to give her an answer. This is quite a tricky thing. I don't want to give an answer because I don't know the person, but it may be something with force, the effort you are doing when singing. And how to enlarge the voice? Giving freedom. You know, it's like a drum. You in Africa have lots of drums. And you know, when you play a drum, you have to play it in the corner, not in the center. Because if you play it in the corner, then it's going to vibrate more, and it's going to give a louder sound. So if you free your chords, if you don't give a lot of force to the chords, even if yourself you seem to hear a smaller sound, it's going to be bigger because it's going to vibrate a lot more. And that's, for me, important, because you're not going to hear, you're never going to hear your own sound. But you have to know the physics behind your sound, and know that if you free the chords, they're going to vibrate more, and then they are going to do a bigger sound. And that's very important. That's why I'm always saying that you don't have to do a very solid sound, but very it's like joking. Like this. It's much more free. And for me, I hear it like a smaller sound, but at the end of the day, it's bigger. Joe?
Okay, I'm here. Trying to pick the next question. Someone is asking, how do you know you are storing air in the right place?
Sorry?
What it's just asking is that how do you know that you are breathing well during singing?
You don't know it. But I usually, when you are singing, most of the time you don't have enough time to breathe very well. So in that cases, you use the most efficient way, which is breathing through your mouth, and that's it. But when you have more time, I always do a big breathing from the nose, because it's giving you a better breathe. So what I used to say is to change from one to the other, depending on how much time I have to breathe. But if you do a very big breath from your nose, it's going to be good. That is always good.
So I think also the person is trying to find out what happens to your tummy or chest when you breathe in, and when you breathe out, what happens to them?
When you do something, it's not natural, so it's not good. Don't try to control something you can't control. You can't control your diaphragm. You can't. It's impossible. So why you are trying? Take a big breath and go with the air. Don't do anything special.
Take a big breath and go with it. So we move to the next. How many questions can you take now? I don't want to overrun you. How many?
It's 8 past, and I have to go at 30 past. So we have another 22 minutes.
So we have another 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So
let's say this, Joe.
Yeah.
This is one introduction, and I'm hoping that some of the stupid things I say, it's useful for somebody. But I would give my time to another meeting like this in, let's say, something like 2 weeks. If
great.
Somebody wants it, if you want it. But I would like that time that we work on people, not just asking generic questions, because yeah, I can give you an idea, but it's not really helping. So if you want I will give you my time to do another one in 2 weeks, but I would like you to convince that people to work. And we will have, I don't know, 5 or 7 people who will like to work even on a phrase, one phrase. Look, this phrase is giving me lots of problems. And we are going to see if we can help on that. Is that okay?
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
But now we have another 20 minutes. Go for it.
Okay. Here we go.
Hello, can I get that?
Yeah, hold on, please. Hold on, please. Hold on, please. People ask questions for a very long time, so we just need to look at them. How do you sing high notes and still preserve the purity of the vowel?
Okay. Let's say that from A to the top, it's quite difficult to make yourself understand, with different vowels. But let's agree that you don't have so many A's or upper notes when you are singing as a high voice. So from A to the top, do it as you want. From A down, try to pronunciate well. I think on the vocals, more on the shape of the mouth, the lips, and the interior of the mouth than to the sound itself. I know that A is A. I just open very much my mouth and say a sound. A. It's going to sound A. And O is O. O. It's not O. No. O. I just put my mouth in the right position and go with whatever sound it's outside. It's going to be an A or an O. And so when I go to the upper notes, I try to do the shape very good and hope it's going to be A, O, E, E. That's all. Not too much more from this.
Okay. I'm coming. I'm trying to get another question. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to think that the main conclusion of the most of the people who are hearing this this blah blah blah, whatever we would like to call it, this meeting, the main conclusion would be, oh, I am doing too much, I am thinking too much, I am trying to reach the notes and not allowing the system to work, because that's the main problem of most of the people I know. Doing too much, trying too much, thinking that they have to do this or that to reach the notes. Tell me, Joe.
Okay, okay. Here we go. Wow. How do you manage nervousness in a way that it doesn't cause tension around your vocal folds, especially at the beginning of you?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay, I'll say that again. How do you manage nervousness in a way that it does not cause tension around your vocal fold, especially at the beginning of your performance?
Okay, but I don't know the word.
Okay, nervousness is
what?
Okay, How do you manage nervousness? Nervousness is when somebody is kind of fidgeting.
So we are nervous?
Yes. Fear.
Ah, the fear is always going to be there. Mostly if you are a high voice. You sing on fear, said Pavarotti.
Wow.
You have to survive. There's nothing you can do. Just be very
Conscientious.
Yes, no, but I'm looking for another word. You know, to be very in the present. Don't think on the future or the past. Be in the moment.
Yeah.
So also if you can do some meditation exercises and all that will help you to be in the present.
Okay. The person also asks, yeah, it goes with how do you manage that nervousness in a way that it does not cause tension around your vocal fold?
Okay, yes. I try the most I can to speak and not to sing. I don't like the word singing. I like speaking.
Sorry, go on. I've muted the person.
It's not a problem. Singing in our head means many things. We have to do this and then that and then this and then speaking. You don't know how to speak. How do you do technically to speak? No.
We just speak.
You just open your mouth and speak. But as I said at the beginning, if we are making notes, it's impossible not to make notes. So you are already singing, but you don't know how. So when, I don't know, when you are Cavaradossi and you enter to the scene and you have to sing Recondita Armonia after 2 pages, you just, che fai? Recito l'Angelus. Dammi colori. You speak as much as you can. Obviously, after that, you have to sing. But at the end of the opera, for example, when you have to sing the famous aria, the second one, there's a speak part at the beginning. Speak it. Don't sing it. Speak. E luceva le stelle, ed olezzava la terra, stridea l'uscio dell'orto, e un passo sfiorava l'arena, entrava ella fragrante. Speak. Mi cadea fra le braccia. If you can do it without thinking, just as when you speak, you just open your mouth and speak. If you realize how to do that, then the problems are going to not disappear, but are going to be few, because most of the time you are speaking, because most of the time the things you are singing are easy. You sing Almaviva, no?
So what?
Okay, you start with the aria, no? Ecco ridente in cielo. The first part of the aria is quite easy.
Yes.
Ecco ridente in cielo. You have to speak. And when you go also up, it's just a fa. It's just an F. You can reach it without doing anything. Spunta la bella aurora. Not a problem. So the most you can convince yourself that speaking is the same as singing, the less problems you are going to have, because most of the problems come from here and not from here. Joe?
Very good. So I have somebody, two persons are raising their hands. I'm gonna give her. There's one, Buki Terry. Introduce yourself and speak. After you, Victor Ikbe, you can speak. They want to say something. Buki, yeah, go on.
Hi, my name is
Hi, Buki.
Hi, yeah. I was actually going to say this before we entered the question and answer. It's okay. I think, let's not make it boring. To sing something like Libiamo
degli Calici, sì.
Yes, Libiamo.
Yeah, that.
I have a problem. I have a problem with my breath control.
Why? It's so easy.
So I thought, yeah. So I just want to know how to sing it better, I should say.
Okay. Let's say that in women, you are obviously a soprano. In women, the voice is much more easy to manage from the technical point of view, because you have one marvelous thing, that is the falsetto. So for women, we have 3 voices that goes one after the other, and the better you know your voice and better you know what you are singing, you can know where to change from one to the other. So you have first your chest voice, which goes until F sharp, more or less. Then you have your falsetto voice, which can go from G, but who can also go from B flat. B flat. So you have there a zone where you can sing in one way or the other, from F sharp to B flat. You can sing in chest, or you can sing in falsetto. Let's say that normally you are going to choose the voice on the phrase. So if you're going up, you are singing in falsetto. And if you're going down, you are singing in chest, just not to change too much. Okay? From B flat to, let's say, A flat, you sing always in falsetto. And from there, you reopen and you shout. It's going to be fine.
Okay. Thank you.
So, wait. Give me a moment. I will take Travella. Oh, yeah. Okay, here it is. So, at the beginning, so Violetta. Tra voi. Okay, it's F, D. And then you go all the time a little bit up and a little bit down. So you are always in the falsetto zone. You just sing in falsetto. The main problem is when women try to take the chest voice to the top. They try to sing as tenors. That's not the way that soprano sings. So if you want to sing ra, you have to sound as a woman. And it's quite easy, because you have to think that you are speaking like tra voi saprò dividere il tempo mio giocondo. If you speak like that and you sing, it's going to be well. Go. Tra Travoi. Ah, this is open. This is travai. If you speak like that, it's going to be travai, travai. No, travoi, travoi. Okay, speak it, speak it. Travoi saprò di vivere. No, like this. Woo!
Why you do? The song is too big for you now.
I lose you. Go. Here you are. Travoi.
Travoi.
No. Falsetto. Woo!
Travoi.
This is mixed voice. Do this. Woo!
Woo.
Bigger. Woo! Woo! Think you are calling somebody who is far away from you. It's your friend. You are going to do shopping together. It's like, woo!
Woo!
That's your voice. Adesso, travoi!
Travoi!
Sing!
Travoi!
No. Far away, far away.
Travoi!
Travoi! Oh!
Okay. Travoi, travoi, saprò di vedere il tempo. Okay, this is the problem. I also have a problem with the breath, with the breathing while singing that song.
Yeah, but you have to breathe there. Travoi, travoi, saprò di vivere il tempo mio giocondo.
Okay, twice. Okay.
You know, when you repeat words in an opera, the composer wants you to breathe in the middle, because you're saying 2 times a thing. It has to be a reinforcement of what you are saying. So, travoi, travoi, saprò dividere. Travoi, travoi. It's not travoi, travoi. It doesn't mean anything. It's like it's like singing without meaning. You have to mean what you are saying. So, travoi, travoi, saprò. Go. No. You are singing like a 5-year-old baby girl.
Sorry.
Go. Woo! Big.
Travoi, saprò di vedere il tempo mio giocondo.
Okay, great. It's going better. Now, you are singing too light. It's nya, 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 nya. No. Travoi. And not travoi.
Put more pressure.
No, it's not meaning of pressure. It's not a thing of pressure. It's how you think on your voice.
Okay.
Did I lose you? No?
No, I'm still here.
I don't know who the person
Sorry,
is.
someone was
The schemes are changing. It's not pressure. You don't have to give force. When you are calling your friend who is there, woo! You don't think what you do, but the sound is great. And so when you sing, travoi, woo, travoi, big.
Okay.
Travo. Oh.
Travoi, saprò di vedere il tempo mio giocondo.
And you know what? When you are thinking that you are singing far away, the fiato, the breathing, is going to list a lot more.
Okay.
Because you are doing naturally the pressure you need. Go. Tutto. Go, far. Go. Too small. It's too small.
Too small, okay.
Okay. Now I will use you for one thing I was saying before. Okay, your O is too open. You are doing ore, more. You do this more. You know the angles of your mouth. You try to put them together like
More.
no. More vertical. More.
Okay.
Open your mouth and put your angles together.
Oh.
Touch them with your fingers. You are doing A. It's O. Ecco. Okay. È un fior che nasce, muore.
Okay.
È un fior. It's still an A. Fior.
Okay.
Open your mouth. Go. Che nasce, muore. Okay. Fantastic. Can you realize it's easier?
Yeah?
Can you realize that it's easier? The sound is getting better, much better. Okay. Now, you have to sing far away from you. You are eating your voice. Think on this. What is the voice made to? Why you have a voice?
To speak.
To communicate. Yes.
To communicate.
If you are going to eat your sound, are you going to communicate?
No.
Nah.
To communicate.
Think that the person you are having this conversation with is 30 or 40 meters away from you.
Okay.
È un fior.
Okay. Sorry.
Very good.
I don't. Sebastian.
Yes.
It's more like we put her on a spot. I'm not sure she's ready to do this now.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous.
Can you realize that it's just thinking that it's getting your voice better and you're singing better?
Okay.
Obviously, you do have to know what to think, but it's natural. It's normal that when you are singing in a big theater with an orchestra or even with a piano, you have to reach the people who are paying for the ticket. So sing to them, even if you are singing a very introspective aria and blah, 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 blah. Sing to them. even if you are doing a love duetto and you have your tenor league, sing to the public. Sing to the public because they are paying to. You cannot eat your voice. It's not shouting, it's just projecting. Okay? And do exercises speaking like, woo! With my pupils, we call it the big fat soprano. It's like, woo! And if you speak like this, you are going to do falsetto voice very well.
Okay.
Okay, and remember not to sing too wide, because you are singing too wide. It's like liviamo, liviamo le lieti calici. No, liviamo le lieti calici.
Okay.
Okay, even if you are maybe quite light as a soprano, maybe because you are young.
I'm not young.
Your voice is not be too much dark if you do that. It's going to be just perfect, because it's going to go out your natural voice. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think your time.
That's it. That's it for tonight.
Exactly. I've seen it.
Okay. Great. Thank you, everybody.
So wonderful. So wonderful.
I will accept everybody in Facebook or Instagram or wherever you want to reach me, and you can make me simple questions, and you can ask Joe to organize this in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Sebastian.
I'm ready for that. So guys, I will need.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on. I will need your feedback. Do not send your feedback on chat, because after this, I don't think I will see the feedback on this chat. Send your feedback to me. I'm going to fire the feedback on his Instagram, WhatsApp. I'm going to make sure that he sees all your feedback. Send your feedback to me either on Facebook,
very great fun for me.
WhatsApp. If you have my number on WhatsApp, if you have my friend on Facebook, look for him on Facebook and on Instagram. You will see him. Mr. Sebastian, I am so grateful with what you have really done for us. But by the way,
very, very fun.
There's something you don't know. There's somebody that joined from Kenya. We have people from Kenya. Yes. There's a lady, a mezzo-soprano lady that joined from Kenya. We have Peter who joined from South Africa. We have some people who joined from Ghana. And I noticed somebody came in with a French name. So
and Biafra.
I said Biafra. So we are so grateful, guys. Open up your audio and give him a very big thanks. Please.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's been nice.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's okay. Thank you, guys. Want to say
Nice voice. Genevieve's voice.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Sebastian. It was a brilliant one.